जा रांझड़ रांझड़ तू भी क्या याद रखेगा जाहिर ने तेनू छोड़ दिया.
The real reason why Kriti Sanon in Do Patti marries an abuser and why her twin sister falls for the same man. And this has nothing to do with her being weak or not being aware. It is only because life always wants to move towards resolution, to move forward. And you must be wondering that how abuse can be moving forward. Listen to this. Both Saumya and Shailee grew up after their mother's death in different ways. They had both seen their mother suffer in silence, abused, helpless, afraid, and this was all etched in Saumya's body and mind. Quiet, sensitive Saumya learned to absorb, stay silent, and protect others. On the other hand, bold Shailee learned to fight for herself and to fight for attention and love. Both fall for Dhruv, a charming yet a violent man with a history of physical violence. Saumya falls for him first, but he falls for Shailee, the bold one. However, unlike Saumya, Shailee was uncontrollable, and therefore his system chooses to marry the silent one, Saumya. And then begins Saumya's abuse. The abuse Saumya faces mirrors the abuse that her mother has had once faced. Saumya's trauma runs deep. It is generational. Just like her mother couldn't, even she repeats the pattern and is not able to stop that abuse. When Saumya tries to start a family, Dhruv's abuse expands. It becomes even more severe. It becomes even more violent. He continues to attack her. Mother figure quietly tries to support her, Maji. While the police inspector starts investigating the story, even though it was pretty clear who was abusing, who was the abuser. In a faded twist of events, almost as if shocked, Shailee, who was the rebel kid, who was the rebel sister, who never went along with Saumya, sees the abuse that Saumya was going through. And this time, she chooses to break the cycle. Both sisters together eventually confront the truth, because only by naming the pain could they break this cycle of abuse. An abuse they kept quiet for. Saumya was asked to keep quiet for when it happened to her mother. The emotional charge of which found its way back into Saumya's life through the story of the connection between Dhruv and Saumya. This story hits close to me as a trauma-informed coach who has worked with several such people who are trapped in these cycles, believing that it is karmic, believing that some magical remedy will change this, whereas the remedy lies in taking a step towards breaking these patterns. I have worked with clients who have been carrying the unfinished stories of their parents and of their ancestors in their own stories. They wonder, why do they repeatedly attract abusive bosses, abusive spouses, abusive friendships, relationships, while they are doing all the right things, just as Saumya was. And the real reason is because they are echoing that they are finishing a story which they were privy to, or it began when they weren't even born. It's intergenerational. Healing doesn't start when life is easy. Actually, it begins when you face the deepest, hardest fears of your life. Only then can we move forward beyond the shame, beyond the pain, beyond the blocks of life, beyond that which people may call black magic, or there is something inside which grabs, which stops you from moving forward, which keeps you stuck. Their story should not define you. Your past, your wounds, your pain, these repeated patterns, you don't have to be a prisoner of these anymore. Let's move forward with this conscious choice, and for healing, for justice for you and for your entire lineage, and for freedom.
महाभारत में कृष्ण ने अर्जुन को लड़ने की सलाह दी थी कि जो धर्म है उसे निभाओ.
Comment Do Patti if you are ready to move forward, such that I can send you the beginner's blueprint, that which has helped 5,000 plus people whom I have already worked with. You can also get in touch with me on my Insta handle, Coach Neha Goyal. Just as Saumya and Shailee broke their pattern, you can too, I guarantee you.